Ms. Lang?
Oh, you again.
Yes, Stacy Phillips.
Don't you reporters ever knock, Miss Phillips?
Oh,
What do you want? I'm busy.
Stacy, please. Cleaning out your files?
No, just reorganizing them.
That's exactly what I'm doing with my follow-up story on the Canterbury. Reorganizing my focus. But I can't yet, until I have all the facts.
Look, you already interviewed me once. If you need any more information, you're gonna have to go down to the commissioner's office. They passed down a memo to that effect. So, if you'll please excuse me, I have a lot of work to do.
Well, I'll be sure and contact them for the official line. But the facts I'm interested in now are more personal. Like, why does Gil Prescott maintain that you're holding a personal vendetta against him?
Your guess is as good as mine, Miss Phillips. But whatever he says his reason is, I can guarantee you it's a lie.
Same measurements.
You said that 5 minutes ago. What are you doing?
Double checking.
Your accuracy?
No, my insurance policy.
Looks like a blueprint to me.
It's not just any blueprint. This is for Canterbury.
Oh.
This, along with one soil analysis report, puts the company 4 million big ones in the hole. And the insurance company is trying to get us for negligence.
Instead of recouping the losses.
That's their decision, according to Gerald Benton, their agent. Prescott Development assumes all liabilities, unless we can prove otherwise.
Well, still have to eat. How about lunch?
No. Lunch? No.
Yeah, the King's Arms, a noon buffet. It's
No,
good
no,
and it's
really,
cheap.
Amber, I can't.
If you would stop eating and breathing this accident.
Well, what do you expect me to do, huh? Forget that I had a 10-story building fall down flat on the ground? And forget that if I don't clear this up, I'll never get another contract in this town?
Yes, for an hour. Look, Gil, you've got a company attorney. Let him handle all the details.
She is handling it. She's also preparing a suit against the International Insurance Company if they try to make this negligence thing fit.
Good. Then let's go. Come on.
No, Amber, look, I can't. I've got too much work. Look at my desk.
I'm looking. My, there's a lot of work on that desk.
Well, you did say that I shouldn't come cry on your shoulder, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Because that doesn't go along with our relationship. But other things do. And I certainly don't want to lose those. Do you?
But isn't it true that you once had more than just a business relationship with Gil Prescott?
Are you writing your article for the Chronicle or the National Gospel?
Relationship cut short when Gil saw greener grass?
Is that what he told you?
No. What he said was, quote, I dumped her, and that turned her against me. End of quote. Shall I give you his reasons? I wrote them all down.
All right. Yes, Gil and I were once friends. We dated casually a few times. Yes, we stopped seeing one another, but that doesn't mean anything. Relationships stop and start all the time.
But you didn't want this one to stop. Isn't that correct?
Funny how you answer your own question, Miss Phillips. Are you trying to put words into my mouth?
Oh, I wouldn't do that, Miss Lang. I'm just trying to find the motive for that threat you made.
What threat?
To even the score with Gil. Don't you remember?
Oh, I get it. Gil handed you the same story he's given everybody else, huh? You know, if he could get that conceit of his under control, he might realize that every woman in Kingsley is not beating a path to his door.
You did throw a drink in his face the night at the Castaway Bar. Several witnesses saw you and heard you threaten to get even with him.
Any girl would have done what I did.
Any jealous one.
Are you trying to put words in my mouth again?
You thought he'd broken a date with you.
He did. He was... I doused him with my drink, and that evened the score. That was the end of it.
Until this latest opportunity came along. As you've said, you already know the story. Gil's convinced you falsified the soil analysis report at the Canterbury.
Look, so I did threaten him that night at the Castaway, but that doesn't mean that I meant any of it. People get angry and say things they don't mean all the time.
And others get angry and do exactly what they say. Especially jealous women who are jilted by someone as popular as Gil Prescott. He may be conceited, but there's a basis for that conceit from what I understand.
Look, I am sorry that his building collapsed. I'm sorry that
Sorry? Sorry for what? Don't tell me those file copies I made for you didn't come in handy, Miss Phillips. I clearly showed how incompetent Gil Prescott was.
Oh, they were of great benefit, Miss Lawson.
Good. I thought they would be.
Ms. Lang was just helping me tie up some loose ends.
Oh, really? And how was she helping you do that?
Oh, just by filling in and clearing up until all the pieces of the Canterbury puzzle fit, which they don't quite yet.
Well, isn't that just like a puzzle? There's always a piece missing.
And it's usually right under your nose. Thanks again, Miss Lang. I have to be going. I do hope we'll be able to finish this conversation at another time.
That interesting, huh? Perhaps you can include me the next time you get together. That is, if there is a next time.
There will be.
Thanks. I needed that.
Me too. Now, why don't we go have some lunch and then back to my place where we can forget about the cares of this world? Canterbury included.
Do you still think I'm at fault in this thing?
Gil, please.
Well, you did say the other day that I should leave myself on the list of suspects. You still think I should?
I think for your own emotional health and the health of our relationship, you should stop trying to justify yourself in this fiasco.
Fiasco.
Our relationship is becoming a fiasco if you keep reminding me of your innocence.
I'm just trying to get through to you, Amber.
Well, get through to yourself first, Gil. If you would stop taking pot shots at everything in sight, you would see that all you need is one good aim. Concentrate your efforts. Oh, great. More self-pity. Keep it up and you'll be another Dave Phillips.
Well, I wouldn't need any self-pity if I could get a decent human response from the people that are supposed to care for me around here.
A decent human response or sympathy.
I'm not getting either one from you, am I?
And you won't. Because sympathy only makes the problems seem more real than they are, and you don't need that.
Well, now that we've discussed what I don't need, when are we going to start discussing what I do need?
Only if you want my opinion.
Well, that's what I've been getting so far. Don't stop now. Come on, let me have
Okay.
it.
Since you've asked, you need you, Gil. You used to be strong, with nobody else to lean on. That's the way it should be. Because that way you don't have to worry about where your support is coming from.
Like you.
Like me. I'm like the kind of man who can still keep my interest.
There! All finished. Now, what would you like me to do? Finish the filing?
Oh, no, that can wait. We need to go over these subdivision requests for the commissioners' meeting.
Oh, great. Shut up with their smelly cigars all day again.
The meeting is tonight, Nancy.
Tonight?
Yeah, we can grab something to eat after work and go on over.
Without me?
Nancy, I said we, that's you and me.
Well, you and the boys are going to have to tend to it by yourselves because I'm being wined and dined tonight. You know, if you want me to work overtime, you're going to have to give me a little advance notice.
Nancy.
Yes?
Well, I guess I can't handle it on my own, but I was really kind of counting on your help.
Some other time, Vicky. Fred was counting on my help, too, and in fact, I'm counting on his.
Fred? Since when have you become so fond of Fred?
I never was. I never will be. But when a friend meets your needs, you owe them a little gratuity, you know what I mean? So I think it's a good idea if your meeting finishes early, not to bother coming back to the apartment.
And just what am I supposed to do afterwards?
Well, go out, get a drink, go to the Castaway or something.
I am not in the mood for bar hopping tonight, especially not at the Castaway. That reporter reminded me that there were several people who overheard me threaten Gil the night I dumped a drink on his head.
Oh, yes. The night that macho man sealed his fate. Don't you just love it? I mean, there he was, king of the hill, thinking that he could just boss you around, and now he's scrambling around like some mouse trying to save his own neck. But there's nothing he can do about it.
You're not at all nervous about the fact that that reporter is coming back here to ask more questions, are you?
I'm not worried about her, or I'm not worried about the insurance investigator or anything. The only thing I'm worried about is keeping Fred in line. So be a good girl and don't come back to the apartment tonight.
You know, you're really asking a lot of me.
Vicky, is that the right attitude? I mean, you didn't ask too much of me when you asked me to switch those documents. Remember that counterfeit masterpiece that you initialed and then verified?
Jean, I overheard them.
Overheard?
Slight technicality. There was a false soil analysis report. The one Gil used to OK construction at the Canterbury site.
Gil's word again.
Not this time, straight from Vicky and Nancy. And believe me, I didn't need a glass on the wall to hear exactly what they said. Once Gil started construction, they switched reports. The real one for the false one. And the false one obviously said the ground was safe to build on.
Nancy, I can believe this, but now, Vicky, this is
Come
Stacy.
on, Jean. She has to be responsible for her actions, too. She's the one Gil dumped.
Wait a minute. Now, you just hold on here. You better have some proof. You ever heard of papers going under after a libel suit?
Well, not this one because of me.
Well, you hope not. You better do some backtracking.
Backtracking?
Yes, you need to do your homework. Now, you find out how many hands that soil analysis report has to go through before it gets to the contractor.
Interesting.
Yes. Then you do your little investigating. Now, where's this Phantom report?
It's destroyed, most likely.
Maybe. Maybe not. Now, I suggest that you find out where this forged report is, or you get some kind of evidence to prove that it ever existed.
I know just where to do that.
And where's that?
Vicky's apartment.
Oh, gonna do ourselves a little breaking and entering, huh?
Me?
Stacy.
Well, it's obvious there's no evidence at the office of P&D. They almost bent over backwards to show me their files.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to Vicky's apartment and you're gonna say, "Hi, I'm your friendly reporter here, and I just want to get a little confession."
Well, it's a possibility. Look, Vicky was beginning to sweat before Nancy came in. I figure if I can find anything at all that could be incriminating, she may just crack.
I see.
Well, that's the plan anyway. But it would be nice if I had Vicky's address. You wouldn't happen to have it, would you?
Yeah, I have.
Great. Then write it down.
You know Monk knows you don't like him, don't you, Carla?
Mama, I just need more time.
You need a little more hospitality, lady.
You know how hard it is for me to get to know anyone.
Well, if you wait much longer, you'll have to get to know his grandchildren, Carla.
Oh, look. I don't hate him even if he thinks that.
Carla, that boy has stomached more rejection in his 18 years than we'll ever get to know. Now, don't let him walk away with just one more.
Oh, why is it that I'm responsible for whether Monk makes it or not?
Because you're the believer in this family, Carla. Now, Gene can get him a job. He can see that he gets back into school. But he needs to know another life. He needs to see your Christianity in action.
I pray for him.
Well, why don't you tell him?
You think he'll care?
Well, if he doesn't, honey, you just pray a little harder.
Come to think of it, a couple of my prayers have already been answered. By now, I was expecting Jimmy to be smoking and drinking with Monk around.
I'll get that, honey. Yes.
Ione? Hi, it's Miriam.
Miriam, sweetheart, how are you?
I just couldn't be better, especially now that I'm talking to you here.
Oh, well, you just buzz me any old time. You know, you make me feel so special calling me all the way from overseas.
Ione, actually, I'm not over the seas right now.
You're not? Where are you?
I'm right here in the Kingsley Airport. It's Daddy and Eric and I.
Oh, well, praise God, I didn't expect you in until tomorrow.
Well, I know. We just couldn't wait, though. But look, I'd like to come on over if we could. And I'll bring Eric so that he can meet you and the whole family.
Oh, well, now you just come on over, and you bring your daddy, too, if he'll come.
Okay, well, listen, it may not be till this evening, though, because we have to do some shopping.
Oh, well, that's fine, whenever you can. Oh, Eric and Jimmy are gonna be just such real good friends. Oh.
So, you gonna have time to cover your father's fundraiser there, Sherlock?
Are you kidding? It's ready, set, go since Mom's been on the team.
Oh, she is. Since when?
Since a couple days ago.
My. Aren't you some kind of lady there making every opportunity for your mother and father to get back together, huh?
But it's strictly business. For now, anyway. But Mom was very impressed with Dad's work at the Chesterfield. You know, she's raised money for everything from the PTA to country club renovations. She knows everyone who's anyone in Kingsley.
Oh, well, sounds like just the person your father needs.
Yeah, in more ways than one. But at least it's a step in the right direction. And as my dad's cheerleader, I've tried to make him see that potential.
Well, my goodness. Well, I tell you what, Miss Fight, don't put your pom-poms away yet. You know, you just may be the one to pull off this little victory.
Hey, did you get the message I left on your desk from Kingsley Hospital?
Oh, yes, I did. That update on Russ Weaver. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
He hasn't regained consciousness yet?
No, it hasn't. In fact, they said he lost him at one point in the ambulance bringing him to the hospital. And by the description that Ben and Marianne gave, it seems like Lance was the one who shot him.
I sure hope Russ can make a positive ID when he pulls through.
Yeah. If he pulls through.
I know how Miriam feels.
Oh, she's on top of the world and still climbing.
Just like I felt when I laid eyes on Jimmy after 2 years separation. You know, it wasn't until then that I realized how much I missed that little guy.
Do you know that's the exact same thing she said about Eric?
Yeah, I know. I was scared, half out of my mind, that Jimmy wouldn't accept me.
Well, you never let on that you were.
Not to you and Jean, but poor Jimmy. I almost squeezed the life out of him with all those kisses and hugs.
Oh, poor Eric.
Hell yeah. Well, he and Jimmy can exchange reunion stories. All I know is that coming to Kingsley is one of the best things I ever did. And now if I can just add another thing to the list.
Oh?
What you've been saying about Mark is beginning to sink in. I want to help. But I think that there's something deeper that keeps me from opening up to him. But you're right. I'm going to try harder to make him feel welcome in our home.
Well, especially since he's already here.
Oh, Mama.
Oh, Carla, I'm so proud of you, honey.
Well, now, it's only the first step. Don't expect me to go and adopt him overnight.
Well, don't you expect any instant friendships with him. You just let him open up to you.
Well, he has already a little with Jean and Jimmy, and apparently to you.
Well, you know, he kind of shies away about himself. Kind of keeps his guard up. But, you know, it's up to all of us to be a little more understanding so he can let it down.
Yeah, well, we've seen how distrustful he can be, even with Jean sometimes.
Oh, that's because he's always suspicious about people giving something without a catch to it, you know. But we can cure that.
Us again?
Who else, Carla?
Hey, I thought I sent you home.
Is there any word on Russ yet?
He's still the same, Marianne. He's unconscious.
Oh, dear God.
Look, I promised you that if there was any change at all, I would call you. Now, what are you doing back here?
I'm hoping and praying anything else I can do to keep awake.
Well, you don't look very awake to me. Come on. I'll go get you a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I guess I need something to keep me alert. You know, I'm all he has right now. I tried to call his mother. She probably didn't know he's here.
Marianne, don't do this to yourself.
Well, Ben, he needs to know someone cares about him.
He knows that you do.
But he doesn't know how much. I should have given him that money when he asked me for it the first time. Then this would have never happened. He would have gotten away. He never would have gotten
you
shot.
don't know that. You do not know that. Now, we've been through all this one time before.
I'm sorry. I can't help thinking this way.
Well, no guilt trips. Do you hear me? No, I think Lori's visiting Dr. Galvin today. She may be finished, so I'll go see if I can find her and send her back over in this direction. Okay?
Okay.
Keep your chin up.
Marianne!
Oh, Lori, Ben was just looking for you.
Well, I'm glad I found you. How's Russ?
He's the same.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, Ben said that you were here to see Dr. Galvin. Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
What about your baby?
Well, she says that I still might deliver prematurely because of the tear in my uterine wall.
Well, you ought to be off your feet. Why don't we go sit down?
No, I'm fine.
Lori, I'm very glad you're here.
What is it?
It's Ross.
What about Russ?
Just calm down, Marianne. He regained consciousness.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
I have to see him, Ben.
Dr. Greeley says it's okay. So come on, I'll take you. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'll be right back.
Okay.